founders right now, the problem is like they want to start a company, but what you really want to do is like you want to solve a problem. Like, what do you want to contribute in this world? And a lot of also people are kind of caught up in this startup mentality. My name is Amir Salhefendic. Yeah, I was born in Bosnia, and due to the Balkan Wars in the 90s, actually we needed to relocate, and I am basically a refugee, and we relocated to Denmark. So basically my upbringing is in Denmark, and I'm very grateful for that opportunity. Yeah, especially Scandinavia has amazing education systems, infrastructure. So I think that has helped me a lot to become actually the person I am today. I don't know, I mean, I'm kind of like a risk taker maybe, and I also don't really like to follow the status quo. I like to challenge things and think from the first principles instead of just copying what everybody else does. So yeah, actually I started, my first ever job was actually as a co-founder of a remote company. Yeah. So I didn't want to go into working for a high tech company. And actually during this, I founded this company, and it was a social network. We grew a lot, millions of users. And I was actually headhunted by both Facebook and Google very early on. I think I was probably 24. But I declined this because I didn't want to work for a huge corporation. I wanted to do my own thing. So that's basically the story. And then, at some point I really got tired of social networks because I think the optimization is really towards usage and not really making people more happy. It's just doing dark patterns to make people spend more time and waste more time on these social platforms. And for me, it was very hard to actually work on this because I didn't felt like I contributed positively to the world, and it didn't really the mission wasn't really what I wanted to spend my life on. Even though we had a lot of success, I kind of left this job. The need was basically I wanted to have a tool that can kind of help me structure my life. And I think a lot of founders right now, the problem is they want to start a company. But what you really want to do is you want to solve a problem.
How long did it take for you to break even? I think these are the true nuggets that people can...
I mean, to break even and to create a business model, I think you need to think about it very early on. Also the notion, I have raised VC money and it's very hard to do, and the percentage of companies that get VC money is very, very small. So you really need to have your own sustainable model from the get-go. Don't think that you can just go out and raise money because it's very hard, and you need to have a really great number. So what I can recommend is basically try to figure out how can you earn money from the beginning and make a sustainable and profitable business from the beginning. And then at some point, if you want to have VC money, you can do it, but that at least gives you a path. So you don't really need to depend on others.
Amazing. How early on did you get VC money, or was it from the startup program?
Well, actually, my current company, we didn't get any VC money. We don't want VC money because we want to be independent.
Todoist.
Yeah. It's in my previous company, that's where we actually had VC money. Yeah.
So could you explain where you were and how much revenue Todoist was, and what you went through in order to make it successful?
The thing I started to do with Todoist very early on is actually charge money for the product, and then I was actually shocked by having people that are actually willing to pay. And I think actually that's a great indicator. It's actually much harder to make something that where people are willing to pay for a service than just offering it for free. And you may also get much better feedback from people when they're actually investing in you, that.
Did you get your first buyer?
I think 6 months into the lifespan of the product, yeah. So that's why when I actually created the business model and started charging money.
When did you employ your first employee, and were they remote?
Yeah, so basically, actually we have some crazy stories, but some of the first employees I hired was through Elance. I think they got sold right now, but it's basically a platform where you can hire people. And one of the first was support, customer support. because I was like really lousy to do customer support myself, and I would get like a lot of emails per day from customers, you know, wanting features, and I would just like not answer them, or like when I answered them, it was like not very friendly because I was just like, I had a lot of stuff to do, you know. So I basically found this guy in Poland called David, and yeah, we hired him. I didn't do any interviews, so I just like looked at his profile, hired him to do support, and basically he has been with the company for the last 7 years, and I think he's like you know, 10x his initial salary as we have grown. And the thing is, like, nobody has ever like seen him. He doesn't want to do any conference calls, and every time we invite him to the retreat, he declines without a reason. So yeah, and the thing is, like, we respect this. We have like about 60 people spread around 25 different countries, over 10 time zones. Yeah, so it's kind of like a big operation right now.
Who interviews them? Is it an interview? Is it online? Is it a video interview?
Yeah, so we do actually like 2 interviews based on skill. So these are like technical interviews, and then we actually do like a cultural interview. And like cultural, like, I think it should be very stated that we are not looking to hire people, you know, the same as us. And inside the company, like, we have, you know, all kinds of nationalities, all kinds of religions working together. We have, you know, black, white, Asian, like everything is mixed. And I think that's very important, yeah. So like the cultural values is more like the values that we value, like when we work together.
What are your biggest roadblocks, challenges, working with remote workers?
That's a great question. Like challenges in remote work. I think actually it's not really about the work itself, but more like the human element, and especially stuff like mental health. I think is something that we are thinking deeply about right now. Like because in a remote setting, it's very easy to go into like a destructive loop where you actually do stuff that isn't very good or healthy for you. So this could be that you work too much, that you don't socialize, that you don't have like a schedule, and basically like short term you will be very productive, but like long term, you know, you'll probably like have mental issues such as depression, loneliness, anxiety, and stuff like that. So we are basically like thinking hard about like how do we address these issues, and like some of the things we want to do is like talk open about them and address that this is actually a concern that we should tackle head on, and figure out like how do we come up with great solutions to this.
What is your time off policy? Do you have one?
Yeah, I mean, we actually like force people almost to go on vacations, and we also don't like that people work while they are vacationing. So I think like something that's very important is actually like some kind of like office environment or co-working environment. I'm actually unsure if working from home is very healthy. Like personally, I don't like to work from home. I like to have like a separation between work and home. So like when I come home, I switch things off and I can spend time with like my son and my wife. I mean, I think a question and something I'm like thinking always about is basically how we create a balance, you know, between like work and life, and basically ambition and like, you know, ambition in work and like balancing your life. So maybe like that will be the question, is like how do we create environment for that? Because I think like either extreme is too bad. Like, you know, if you are like too ambitious, you can get burned out, but also like if you're not ambitious enough, maybe you'll not create something of substance.
Amazing. Thank you. Any last words?
Well, yeah, I think it's amazing to be in Bali and just like talk and meet like people that are actually interested in the whole movement. And I think, you know, remote work is something that I think will change the world for the better. And that's, you know, like one of our core missions as a company is basically like, how can we make this work? How can we make this the best experience, work experience that people can have? And this can be like for people that want to travel, or people that want to, you know, live on a small island with their family and friends and just be connected there without like having to move to New York to get a good job. So really, yeah, we can see that remote work can actually change the world for the better. Yeah.
What do you think of the conference here? What's happening? Like,
I think
how much
it's-
value is that giving you personally and in general?
I mean, it's very hard to actually find people that are like-minded and that really believe in this crazy mission. You know, like I talk with founders, but like most of them are just regular companies. They are not really remote first or like trying to build teams that span the whole globe. So being part of this like is freaking amazing, and yeah.